Hi, welcome to P226's channel. Here we're going to be doing a review on the P99 Walther. I'm going to make a separate video comparing the two, the Walther PPQ and the Walther P99. And I'm breaking each gun out into its own video. So if you're interested in this, there's going to be 3 videos to watch on this subject. I might refer to parts of the other ones in this. Anyway, the Walther P99 is a great gun. There's no way around that. I mean, it's like a Glock with a SIG style trigger and a decocker. And an indicator on the back. The decocker is located on the top of the slide, and it's very functional. The double action is very good. Sure, you could tell by the side alignment there, it was not jumping all over the place really. The single action is also quite good. Really, the only reason I wouldn't recommend this gun is because for the same amount of money, you can get one of these. It's a Walther PPQ. Go watch the videos. It really changes everything I have to say about this gun, that gun being out. Because it's just inferior now. It's been surpassed by its own company. Okay, philosophy. This is a compact to full-size combat handgun. It is technically in the same size as the SIG 228 and the Glock 19, but for Walther, this is a full-size gun. Walther always kind of tends to have a little bit smaller guns. That's why they're pretty popular for concealed carry. I mean, the PPS, PPKS, PPK, and PP are Hall of Famers basically for concealed carry. They've been concealed carry guns since the 40s on some of those. On some of those are more recent, but the PP and the PPK have been around since the 40s and are still in people's arsenal as a concealed carry gun. That speaks volumes. I could actually see carrying this gun. It is fairly comfortable to carry. It is a bigger gun. I mean, there's things that come along with that, but it's pretty light. So concealed carry, maybe be a philosophy on this. Like I said before, full-size combat handgun, definitely. You would not be undergunned with this. Home defense gun, also. Pretty much anything that falls into those POUs. I mean, you guys have heard this before. This isn't your first gun video, more than likely. Everything that applies to a full-size handgun applies to this. Track record. The P99, to my knowledge at least, has an outstanding track record. It's never had any production quality issues. I mean, it's made by Walther. Walther's an old name in firearms, and they've been making them for hundreds of years. I would definitely trust my life to one of these. Like any gun, I'd probably want to, have it prove itself at the range for a few hundred rounds before I did. But, if I was going to pick a gun, to trust my life to just out of the box, not having it fired at all, it would probably be a Walther, a SIG, or an HK. Maybe a Glock, but I don't know. The Gen 4's had some issues, and that kind of brings them into question in my mind. But definitely one of those 4 I would probably trust my life to out of the box, no problems. Okay, the worst thing that can happen is a failure to feed or eject, and that's pretty simple to fix, I hear a lot of people talking about, oh, I wouldn't trust my life to a gun unless I have 2,000 rounds through it. Well, I think you're an idiot. I'd probably trust it after 1 clip, just to make sure the firing pin wasn't broken. Anyway, caliber. This is available in 9mm and 40. 9mm holds 15 rounds, the 40 holds 12. It's pretty standard capacity these days. Glock and SIG are about the same. I don't know about HK, I figure they're probably in the same ballpark. Magazines are excellent quality, they're all made by Mekgar. I actually don't know if the PPQ's magazine is or not. Let's look at that. Yeah, Mekgar. So all of Walther's mags are made by Metgar. It's actually not surprising. Most of the higher end gun companies will have Metgar make their magazines because Metgar can do it better than they can. Glock is one of the few exceptions to that. And that's basically because Glock does their own thing in pretty much every sense of the word. Accuracy. The accuracy on this gun is actually fairly good. It's, I don't know, at 25 yards I had like 5 or 6 inch groups. It's not like super impressive, but considering the sights, there's a lot of air in the sights. You can see there. I don't think that's bad at all. If you replace those with some Mepra lights or Trigicons, it would tighten the groups up considerably, in my opinion. Size and weight. It's basically about the same size and weight as any Glock. Okay, it's a polymer framed gun. It's fairly light. I don't do the ounces things, you know, for the pounds and ounces for measurement. I'm more concerned with how it weighs relative to other guns, how it feels in your hand. I mean, a 1911 is very heavy, but you don't really notice it unless you compare it to a Glock, okay? And it feels very good in your hand. SIG is the same way. I don't really care about pounds and ounces. I might care more about pounds and ounces if I was going to be carrying it, you know, long distance, like a sniping POU or something like that, but where pounds and ounces really freaking matter. It's, in my opinion, most guns are of an acceptable weight as long as they aren't, you know, big hunks of steel like a 1911. That's a little unacceptable in this day and age. Ergonomics. The Walther P99 was one of the most ergonomic handguns ever made. They really put a lot of thought and design into it, and the only reason I say it's not anymore is because they've surpassed it themselves. This is way, way more ergonomic. And I would say the HK P30 is probably the same way. They look similar. Okay, materials used. The frame is polymer. The slide is steel. And it seems very, very high quality. I mean, I would put Walther right up there with H&K and SIG as far as quality goes. And that's saying a lot for a company that does not get much press in the United States. Most of their sales are in Germany. I mean, hell, both of these guns are imported by Smith & Wesson because Walther does not want to sell in the United States, really. They partnered up with Smith to sell their guns. I can't understand that, but yeah, it's whatever, it's their company. Durability and reliability. This gun here is several years old. I bought it used. It still has a lot of life left in it. I could see this being a gun that you could pass down to your great-grandchildren pretty easily. Just like any of those other companies I mentioned. Any high-quality gun is going to way, way outlive you. We already talked about reliability. Variations. There's actually several. There's the P99 La Chase, I think is what it's called. It's like a hunting pistol. It's kind of a cool version of it. You can find pictures of that online. There's the first generation P99s, which are kind of got a little bit of a different look to them. Most of them are green. This is the second generation P99 AS. There's also the P99 Quick Action. I think they call it P99 QA, something like that, or P99Q. Basically, it's the system that became the PPQ. I like doing that, the slow flyby. You like that? Figure hardly anyone's watching this video at this point, so I'm just going to have fun. I'm joking. Accessories. The sights on a P99 and PPQ, you can actually change out yourself. They're held in by like set screws. Oh, sorry. So those are pretty awesome compared to Glocks or SIGs, where you really need to have a good set of gunsmithing tools to be able to do it. Walther makes a light that'll fit this. You can probably find a few aftermarket lights that'll fit it. My personal favorite light, the TLR1S by Streamlight, does not fit this gun, so sad face. It's just the rail's in the wrong space and it's not long enough. Compatibility with your systems. This is its own system. There's nothing to be compatible with here, other than other 40 caliber pistols. Value. I have seen these in the $400 to $600 range, depending on how good the condition is, and if they still have the box with a whole bunch of extra magazines with it, they can get up there in price to like $600. $500 is about the standard though, for one in decent shape. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and be sure to thumbs up the video. See ya.